Hi guys, and welcome to the deep, dark and mysterious place that is my man cave. Doing a bit of bead weaving at the moment. I just want to give a quick demonstration on this. On those long dark winter evenings, we're often planning out for the finer weather, but as I've often stated in my other videos, bushcraft is more than camping out in the woods and doing woody things out in the woods. We take inspiration from various tribes and what have you around the world, the Sami, Inuit, First Nations, Native Americans, Hadza, San, and they all have craft traditions as well. And I thought I'd just show you a little bit on bead weaving. I say what I'm doing here is a prize. There's a hatband for Sandy. You won't see all the completed hatband today because it's going to take me a couple of days to do this. And I shall pan down and we shall have a see what we got. Right, we've got the beads. There's the loom. I'll pan down and if I can just see it, there's the beads. I've got blue beads, red beads and the loom. Right, now basically what I do is I hook the beads onto the beading needle like so, and I pull it down, and I bring it underneath the threads that I've made out, popped it in there and thread it through. Like so, and pull it. Whoops. Oh dear. I've just lost a bead. I think it was cracked. No matter. Best thing to do is to... The wonderful thing about these particular beading needles is they have a collapsible eye. So you're not sitting there spending hours trying to get your thread into a tiny little flat eye. Basically what I've got to do now is thread it back through the hole and thread another There we go. Let's hope this works. So it doesn't always work out the way you wish it to when you're beading. And a lot of the time you've got an extremely long piece of thread to contend with. And it's but as I say, it's meditative. You can spend hours and hours at this. There are many different styles. I bead mostly in the Native American because it's a style that I like working in. The Zulu style, very good. You can make things like ibhex, which are engagement necklaces, and different types of wristband, love letter pins, which I've got a few of downstairs, and every piece on these, on the Zulu work and Xhosa work has a meaning. The whites for purity, the way you put the triangles on a piece, indicates whether you're engaged or whether you're looking. It's a bit like wearing the cladding ring that I'm wearing now. I mean, it's on my left hand with the crown pointing away from the knuckle, which means I'm engaged. If the crown was pointing towards the knuckle, it will signify that I am married, and hopefully later this year it will be pointing towards the knuckle. And and as you go on and you move on up, but that's it. I shall give you a close-up of this in a second or two, and we can see what we're doing. So I'll show you again. So what we've got, 3 red, as I said, this is like counting cross stitch. 3 blue, 3 red, drop them down into the cotton, bring that underneath, the biggest problem when you're dealing with such a great length of cotton is the fact that sometimes it will knot itself up, something chronic, and it's really annoying when it does that. You have to cut the thread and re-knot it. I should probably use about 2 or 3 pieces of 2 or 3 lengths of thread when doing this. Here we go. Now I want 4 red, 1 blue, oops, I have 4 red, and you just put it through like so. When it comes to sealing the knots, I use a little bit of that clear nail varnish, pretty good stuff, and occasionally high tack glue. I never use super glue. I did it one time, but I find that it deteriorates after a time and the knots tend to become very brittle. But there you go. Well, that's the pattern I'm achieving. It's a Cherokee pattern, and it's very good. It's very nice pattern, and it will go most of the way up this loom. Now this is my belt and hat band loom. All my looms I use for beadwork are homemade. You don't have to buy a loom. All you need is a book of instructions on how to do it, which is easily found on the net. I do have another loom somewhere. Here we go. Now this is obviously a shorter one, and I use it on the flat like so, and that's for doing wristbands. If you come down here, as you can see, I've used a spring and a piece of wire to coil over the end. On here, when I made it, I used a bit of garden wire to make the spring, to make the spacers. Works very well. And that's what bushcrafting is about, in one respect, the crafting side of it. As I say, this is a prize I'm making. Sandy won it for guessing correctly the use of 2 items I had for making shotgun wads. The current prize is still, the current competition is still current. It will cease next week. I've got some correct answers in already, and I've expanded the answers slightly. I hope you don't think me too bad at this, because obviously our foreign friends don't do forestry as we in Britain do. A couple of other projects on the go. A bowl that I may have mentioned, extremely tough. It's made from Canadian maple, a Canadian maple, and although it's seasoned too much, it's extremely hard at the moment. I've almost finished it. I've just got to sand it out. I've tried using the spoon knife, sharp spoon knife, to smooth it. It's just too hard. So I use sandpaper to do the outside and the inside. And also a project I started last year. Again, this is birch, and it's my little noggin that I'm making, just for. Anyway, there we go. That's Sandy's prize, and I hope it's proved of interest to those who look at the craft side of this fine tradition that we have.